As the world's biggest car market, China is also home to electric vehicle trailblazer Tesla, which built a plant there in 2019. Numerous Chinese electric vehicle startups, including Xpeng, Li Auto, and NIO, are vying for the attention of consumers as well as investors. However, there is a fascinating narrative about Lucid that has a relationship to China and that dates back a long time. Why did Rawlinson state on many occasions that Lucid is not a Chinese company? What is the nature of Lucid's relationship with China? Keep watching till the end to find out the answers to these questions. Welcome back to New Vehicle Media, your go-to channel for EV stock. Quick reminder, subscribing's free and liking the video helps YouTube suggest similar content. Comments are loved and featured in upcoming videos. Almost all of the critique directed at electric vehicles when they first entered the mainstream a little over a decade ago centered on their limited range and the duration it took to recharge them. Throughout the years, manufacturers have made incremental improvements here and there, gradually increasing the numbers year after year as they continue to improve efficiency. Many electric vehicles are currently available on the market that have a range of more than 400 miles between charges, but vehicles with even greater range are on the way. Because of advancements in technology, electric vehicles will soon be able to go far further on a single charge than the typical motorist can realistically cover in a day. Although this is true, a vocal minority continues to argue that electric cars are just incapable of making lengthy journeys, with luxury cars now having ranges of more than 400 miles and all kinds of lower-end models having ranges of 300 miles or more. It's becoming more difficult to maintain this position in the future. The Lucid Air Dream Edition, a modernistic electric vehicle with the greatest range available on the market, dethroned Tesla as the leader in this category. As the corporation increases manufacturing, customer deliveries are now a steady stream. This enormous figure, on the other hand, was not obtained merely by employing a bigger battery. Rather, it can be traced all the way back to the beginnings of the corporation when it was known as Ativa. It began as Ativa, a specialized battery manufacturer that has improved year after year, forever transforming the history of Formula E racing by becoming the first to supply top-of-the-line battery technology efficiency that allowed a Formula E to run the whole race. This has aided in the development of lithium-ion cylindrical batteries used in the Air sedan. Not only this, run a couple of years back and you'll end up knowing the history of Ativa. There had been a lot of ups and downs for the California-based firm. Established as Ativa in 2007 by a former vice president of Tesla, the business originally concentrated on batteries and powertrains for electric automobiles and buses in China, were mostly powered by batteries made by Ativa. The business amassed a substantial collection of patents in the process. Then, early in 2014, Beijing Automotive Industry Holding, or BIAC, one of China's leading state-owned car makers, and Leeco, a Chinese internet company, invested $100 million so that Ativa could develop its own vehicle and are not limited to providing batteries to other businesses. BAIC used to be the firm's biggest stakeholder, holding a 25% ownership in the company at the time. Over the next year, the China top state-owned manufacturers established a technological development center in California's Silicon Valley and formed a partnership with Ativa to develop electric vehicles for the Chinese and international markets. It has been actually confirmed that the Beijing Electric Vehicle Corporation has created the tech center to concentrate on developing electric vehicles and, ultimately, self-driving automobiles, which look to be the ultimate goal of current EV startups. BAIC also followed the lead of another prominent state-owned Chinese manufacturer, SAIC Motor Corp, which was establishing a research facility in Silicon Valley and researching electric and self-driving vehicles at the time. Ativa was one of a number of companies in China and the United States that were focused on developing electric vehicles to compete with those produced by Tesla Motors. The company was established to assist in the development and marketing of a car that would compete with the Tesla Model S, particularly in China. BAIC's engagement, on the other hand, was short-lived. According to a person close to Lucid, they wanted to be in command of the organization. In terms of day-to-day activities, this was a huge upheaval. Perhaps it was not acceptable to the battery startup, and this might be the reason why BAIC sold its stake in the battery firm in April 2016 to billionaire Jia Yueting, who was the owner of Lieco, the Chinese internet business. But there was an issue. Jia proved to be just as disruptive as BAIC in the long run. Back in the summer of 2014, the billionaire surreptitiously created his own electric vehicle firm, Faraday Future, with the goal of developing and manufacturing yet another high-end competitor electric vehicle. A great deal of uncertainty persisted around the ownership and organizational relationships of Ativa, Faraday Future, and Lieco. Several high-profile setbacks have subsequently befallen Faraday Future, including a botched display of autonomous technology at the Consumer Electronics Show and the cancellation of a $1 billion factory building project in Nevada. Jia subsequently departed from Lieco's parent firm as a result of issues about the company's liquidity and his own financial situation. Meanwhile, it was claimed that Jia had sold his investment in Ativa for several $100 million, resulting in a significant payday for himself. It made Lucid very happy to get rid of Jia and any residual ties to the problematic Faraday Future organization. This is why you often hear Peter Rawlinson saying, "We are not a Chinese car company. I want to state this very clearly. We are absolutely, vehemently a fiercely independent American company." A lot of people were intrigued in investing in Ativa at the time since it was such a phenomenal startup back then. Their batteries were the result of a collaboration between structural engineering, thermal engineering, electrical engineering, and software development. It's often assumed that it all comes down to cell chemistry, but the expertise involved in placing thousands of cells together, taking use of thermal information, structural engineering to make the pack robust and crashworthy, and software is very important. It's a good thing they discontinued all links with entities like Faraday Future, or otherwise, they may have suffered the same fate. It's unclear how the competition for battery technology will conclude, with some speculating that the industry would converge around one or two technologies, while others believe that numerous cell types will become widespread in the coming years. As a result of the rapid pace of technological change, even the battery Lucid Airs are now equipped with, which is more sophisticated than any other battery in the industry, is still considered to be a gateway innovation. Someone will find out how to make a battery that can store 10 times the amount of energy and discharge instantaneously without igniting, something that engineers like Ijaz are working on, who was able to increase the energy density of an electric vehicle while utilizing the same battery size. In addition, the range was increased by a staggering 95%. Make sure to watch that video, you will be buzzed. That invention has not yet been introduced to the market, but when it is, it will be the deciding factor. However, over the next 10 years, the present battery technology spearheaded by Ativa will be the technology that'll be used in electric vehicles, such as the Lucid Air. And for Lucid, as a competitor, even minor improvements in battery performance might have a significant influence on the adoption of electric vehicles. Pubinji says that Lucid reminds him of Apple, which is one of the reasons why he loves the company. You may be correct in bringing up the Apple Corporation as a comparison, since both of these companies are focused on technology, luxury, and quality. That should wrap things up for today. Keep in mind that subscribing is still free, and liking helps YouTube recognize your preferences. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.